Joel Piroe from Swansea, again, really
Yeah.
good squad record, goal record. Obviously, that would obviously, what was the chance of him coming, but also what does that mean for the likes of, again, Patson Daka, one player we haven't mentioned, and then Iheanacho as well? Because if Vardy is going to lead the line, something that's been reported that Maresca likes, with Piroe coming in, it means that potentially Daka and Iheanacho, I'm just not sure in terms of the strike force what that's going to mean going forward.
Yeah, again, he's one that I've heard mentioned as well. I think there's still some question marks about him, whether he's the sort of player that he'll score you some goals in the Championship, whether he can then step up to the Premier League when they go up, or whether he's somebody you bring in on a short. I think that's the area with him, a little bit where they're thinking about it. But certainly there's an interest there. In terms of Patson Daka, I think they'd like to keep him and see if he can emerge in the Championship and get some confidence, get a run of games, because there's something there with him. There is something there with him. You know, he can score goals. I mean, I'll never forget that night in Moscow. I mean, you know, there's something there if they can harness it. But he's in and out. He can't build his confidence, can't get any rhythm going. So they have to make a decision with him, really. Kelechi, I've got a feeling he's going to go. I've got a feeling that Kelechi will go. I think there'll be clubs in the Premier League that will take Kelechi because, again, finding the problem with Kelechi is finding the right role for him. I always say he's a second striker. He's not a main striker. He's not a number 9. You know, he's a link player. If you've got people running past him from midfield, he's brilliant at that. Coming deep, getting the ball, playing it through.
Yeah, and it'll be whoever he'll go to will get really underrated. Will underestimate how good Kelechi Iheanacho is. I think early this season, I think around that time, Kelechi Iheanacho was in the top 10 of all times for goals and assists per minute, of something ridiculous. His numbers are frightening, but he's a complete.
He should have played more often, shouldn't he, Neil? He should have played more often than he did. If he does leave, you know, they've underused him. They've spent 25 million on him or whatever they spent, and they haven't used him enough.
Yeah. And when they have used him, he's so effective, and he's part of the reasons why we won the FA Cup. People forget as well. His goals in the FA Cup led us towards that. Even though he didn't score in the final, he scored in pretty much, I think, consecutive games to winners. Again, Brighton, I remember the last minute header. Southampton, he scored the goal for the 1-0. I think there was a game before that, I can't remember, but he is Mr. FA Cup as well.
More than that was his partnership with Vardy. In that little run, he scored a lot of goals, but Vardy assisted a lot, and that's it. I think he needs to play off somebody. He needs to play in a 2. And Brendan didn't like playing with a 2 unless he was playing with a back 5. It was always a one striker. If somebody's got a system where they're playing with 2 strikers, it'd be a no-brainer for me to go there and play in that system.